This is Rochelle. Dominguez Nguyen Singh Jackson, reporting live from Channel 8.8 Action Live. In today's news, many residents from around the burg are excited for Section 8, coming to CMAC on Comcast Xfinity Channel 93 or AT&T Uverse Channel 99. The buzz is growing in the community, and many residents have set their DVRs for this awesome show. This is Rochelle, Dominguez Nguyen Singh Jackson, reporting live, and I'll see you October 14th for Section 8.
Ladies and gents, get ready to chill here on the Franky and Ro Show. Hosted by that Hollywood insider bringing news, our guy Franky. And a diva that's oh so fabulous, Rochelle. When it comes to the Franky and Ro Show, get ready for love, life, and entertainment as we get ready to chill and bring you a little candid conversation with relationships, lifestyle, entertainment, and exclusive interviews. So it's time to get this party started on the Franky and Ro Show.
Hey, thanks for joining the Franky and Ro Show tonight, where we showcase love, life, and entertainment. The ladies are in the studio and they're ready to get real. Let's go.
Right. But and it also goes back to, you can also sense another woman being bully-ish when she sees another woman that's a bit more successful than she is. Right. Maybe a woman who is doing the same thing that you're doing, but she's having a different response from it. Mm-hmm. Oh, Amanda sells shoes. I sell shoes too. But Amanda has more customers than I do. She makes more sales than I do. Mm-hmm. But I'm not selling like I want to be selling. Mm-hmm. So now I'm enemies with Amanda. Yeah. We can't be friends anymore because she's selling more shoes than I am. Now it's a jealousy thing. Right. Yeah. Then I get on social network and I'm bashing Amanda's shoes because the soles on the bottom of her shoes are from the dollar store. So it's. We get it from every angle. Yeah. Whether we're married. Oh, I don't like her because she's married, or she has this. She's single. Oh, she can do whatever she wants because she's single. She has kids. They're always at the park. They're always having fun. Or she has a good car, and I have this bucket that I've been driving and I've been working so hard for. We get it from every angle. Yeah. Instead of saying, I'm happy for you and your new car. I'm happy because you have beautiful kids. I'm happy you're enjoying the single life. And I'm happy for you because you have a great marriage. Yeah. Yeah. What is so hard about women appreciating other women? I've never understood.
It's the ego. It gets in the way. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with it now. If I like something that you have going on, or I see you have a successful marriage, I don't have a problem saying, how you do that? Mm-hmm. I don't sit there and envy people. Right. Okay, or your hair is pretty, or girl, where'd you get that from? I don't care. I'll tell you look beautiful. Yeah. You look great. How did you make that work? How did you clean up your credit? Because we are missing out on wonderful relationships that you can have with people.
Or learning opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Learning opportunities. You're missing out. We're here to learn from each other. So I'll ask. Right. And if that person has an attitude of me asking, that's on them. But, I want to know.
Yeah. Tell me where you bought that weed. Because I want some weed. Just tell me where you bought it.
Girl, where you get that? Exactly.
Right. It's from learning, becoming friends and building relationships and learning from each other. If you have a successful business, show me how you did that so I can do the same thing. Right. We're all in it for the money, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Your business is to make money. My business is to make money. So how can I be just as successful?
But no one wants to be vulnerable.
Right.
It's a rough world.
Yeah, it's a rough world as it is out there for a female. Why should we be, bringing each other down when in reality we're just all out here, trying to be successful, trying to live a life, trying to be happy, have a happy marriage, have a happy home. We should be helping each other out instead of bringing each other down.
Right. Yeah. And I was there was a study also in Forbes magazine that bullying amongst other women has went up like 4% versus sexual harassment in the workplace. Because women are taught to be, they're taught to be very critical at a young age. Mm-hmm. So now sexual harassment has went down in the workplace, but bullying amongst women has rose. How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
How crazy! You're going to work to make money, to make a living, but you can't because women are bullying each other.
They're being overly competitive. It's not a healthy type of drive. It's like becoming egotistical, competitive, and envious. It's just getting out of hand.
It is. But we have to learn how to bring that back together and bridge back together and uplift one another instead of dragging each other down, because women are really good at that, especially when you see something happening great in someone else's life and it's not taking place in yours. So we have to learn how to bridge that gap and build strong relationships and lift one another up, because women, we play the big, a lot of people think it's the men. Women play the biggest role in this entire world.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
So in order for us to stick together, we have to have relationships to bridge the gap and be strong and powerful. But with that said, the ladies and I are going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more, so we ask you guys to stick around.
Hi, this is Karen Clark Sheard, and you're watching The Franky and Rose Show.
Hi, this is Kim Whitley, and you're watching The Franky and Rose Show.
Hey guys, it's Rainey Rodriguez from Disney's Austin and Ally, and you're watching The Franky and Rose Show. Woo!
Hello, I'm Bobby Jones, and you're watching The Franky and Rose Show.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching the Franky and Rose Show with the women's panel today. We have Miss Amanda, Miss Keisha, and Miss Joy. They are joining me to discuss our topic entitled Women Who Bully Other Women. On this segment, we're going to close it out actually with some helpful tips to other young women who can take the advice that we're giving them and hopefully apply it to their lives. And if you are a bully, you know it's not something that, of course, you know you should be doing. So we hope that you can gain from today's conversation and become a better person and love yourself more. So, ladies, I wanted to begin this last segment by talking about a young lady named Emily Ann. She's 18 years old, and she started a website entitled WeStopHate.org. So, of course, the world famed Lady Gaga says that this young lady is her hero. And she started this website, and I guess it's something you can go to and learn about bullying and see what you can do to change your life and, of course, stop the hate. So if that's something you're experiencing, or you know someone who's experiencing, maybe you're a little afraid to speak up and say something if you see this happening, but WeStopHate.org is a place that you might want to take a look at and see what's on there to maybe help you or someone else. I also wanted to talk to the ladies about love, self-love, self-worthy, and things like that. What are some tips that we can offer to the viewers who may be watching that can apply to their lives if they're being bullied or if they are the bully? What do you guys think that there are some tips that maybe can help them out?
I think if you're being bullied, you do have to step up, not, specifically take action where you're fighting or anything, attacking the person back. Maybe this person doesn't even know you're bullied. Maybe letting that person know, hey, I don't like when you make these comments or anything like that. And if that doesn't help, then, take it up to, if it's in the workplace, a manager, someone you can confide in, someone that you can, there's always HR, or if it's something, family member that you're being bullied, take it, let them know. Sometimes, a lot of the times people, the person bullying doesn't realize they're being bullied. Sometimes it's just in their nature to be aggressive or to be that way, because either they were brought that way, they've never felt the love, or they're insecure with themselves. So definitely, if you're being bullied, I think the number one thing is to, let that person know, let someone know before it gets worse or before it hurts you even more.
Right, right. Another tip, like Joy said, is to reach out to someone, especially if you're in the workplace or at school, your manager, your principal, your school staff, and let them know what's going on. Because if you're not speaking up, letting your voice be heard, then of course the bullying will continue. Another point that I wanted to bring across was reality shows. How a lot of these grown women are on TV. They're fighting one another. They're gossiping. They're backstabbing. And they are promoting bullying without even realizing that they're promoting bullying. How do us women, women that are sitting here, how do we change the dynamics between women to stop things like this? what can we do as individuals to not let this continue on from the younger generation, because it's clearly the younger generation are the ones who watch these reality shows, and that's what's on there is fighting and bickering and backstabbing, and she has this and she has that. But how do women, real life women like ourselves, how do we step to the plate and change this? What are some things that we can do?
Well, I think that change starts with yourself first. You have to be the change that you want in the world, like the quote says. And I think like what we're doing right here, right now, this women's panel is like a catalyst for change, you know, to get this out in the world and to society. And like we're meeting new friends right now, and we're like mending. We're mending these things and bridging the gap. We're starting to open up, be more vulnerable, talk about things. So I think it starts with yourself. Be willing to be vulnerable, to open up and share, not be so guarded and protected, and be that change that you want. Reach out to people. You know, think about what you're doing first before you do it.
Right.
And you know, because like we talked about bullying, I think it all stems from envy, being competitive, whatever we were taught. And you just have to know that you're valuable and worthy. Once again, learn to love yourself. Everybody is not responsible for what's going on inside of you.
Right.
You have to manage that yourself. So nobody should be responsible, like your sounding board or your garbage can. Let me correct that, for what's going on inside of you.
Yeah.
So do whatever you have to do to mend your heart and your mind and your soul, and be that better person.
How do you respond? You have a close friend, Amanda. How do you respond? Well, Amanda, if you're really my friend, then you'll let me borrow your car for the whole weekend. I mean, I thought we were best friends. That's actually a form of bullying. If you're really my friend, you'll let me borrow your car for the whole weekend. How do you respond to something like that?
If you're really my friend,
you would be asking.
You wouldn't be asking unrealistic expectations.
Exactly.
Friendship is a two-way street.
Right.
If I'm constantly giving and giving and giving, and there's nothing in return that I'm getting from you, that's not a friendship. No. That's one person pouring into another. It's more like a mentorship.
Yeah.
I think that unrealistic expectations of someone create not only pain for them because they can't meet your expectations, but also pain for you because then you get frustrated because they're not meeting your expectations. You have to remember that two people are two different people. I communicate differently than you communicate. You communicate differently than I do. And the way that I look at a situation and expect something from it is different than you. So I think that it's keeping those open lines of communication and saying, you know, this is a two-way street. So sure, you can borrow my car, but you're going to have to take me to work and pick me up. Like, there's got to be a two-way street. You can't just have it the whole weekend. Like, there's got to be something in return that not necessarily that you do something to get something in return, but if I know that I can come to you and ask the same thing of you, and without hesitation you would say yes, that's something that I need on my side too. So it's a two-way street instead of just constantly wanting out of someone.
Do women bully their boyfriends? You're in a relationship, Amanda, and I'm not sure about you, Joy, but have you guys witnessed women bullying their significant others into getting what they want?
Actually, the other day, it's funny because I was at Target and I was buying a gift for my friend's son's birthday party. And I see a lady and her husband's there, and she's pushing the baby in the cart, and they're in the baby section, maybe a couple little racks away from them. And she's scolding him. She's yelling at him like a little kid. And I'm thinking, wow, like, and at first I thought she was scolding the little kid, but she's sitting there, she's scolding her husband, telling him that he's not doing anything and so forth. And I'm thinking, one, you're in a public place. You know, you're at Target. It's come on, man, you can save it for home. And then I was thinking, she's bullying him.
Yeah.
She was really like, if he had an ego, it just was shot down that day. Right. He was like this, and she made him feel like this, like nothing. And I was thinking to myself, wow, like, I don't think I've really ever saw that, or maybe not. It just took me by surprise. So yeah, and I was like, I was whispering, and he looked at me, and he just put his head down, like, yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, and the thing to top it off, she was pregnant with another kid, so I'm thinking, you have one child already, you're bringing another child in this world, and you're in this relationship where you're bullying your significant other, like, what is that displaying to your kids?
Yeah.
What type of household do you run at this point? So I was surprised by it, but yeah, it's out there. It's maybe not talked about because I don't think men want to talk about it or express, you know, my girlfriend or my wife is bullying me, but it's out there, and I was surprised by it too.
It's awkward too.
Yeah, it really
You're
was.
you're looking at him like, you gonna let her talk to you like that?
And I looked at my boyfriend, I was like, ooh, someone got in trouble.
Yeah,
It was surprising.
Yeah. And then there's not only do you witness relationship bullies, but you witness kids bullying their parents.
Yeah, they have like programs for it now for parents to. I hear a commercial on the radio all the time of some program that you can go through to not let your kids walk all over you. I'm all.
It's called the belt.
Thank you.
I
We need all
that. That's my thinking is how can you like that is your child like no. I always knew growing up when my mom was serious, she was serious, and I better take my butt to my room and not ask another question. Like, come on. Like, I just feel like when I hear those commercials and I hear these parents like, I will not let my child speak to me. They shouldn't be speaking to you like that anyway.
In the first place.
They shouldn't even think about speaking to you in the first place like that.
Like, it's, you know, it's, don't spare the rod.
Right.
Like, I don't have kids, but my kids will be disciplined and they will be respectful of other people. And when I have children someday, they're going to know that I'm the parent, you are the child, and that's how it is.
Right.
Just like I was taught. I feel like we've taken this whole, like, you can't spank your child or to an extreme of like, just let them be and let them figure it out on their own. And you wonder why kids are little hoodlums because and disrespectful to like the way that kids speak to elderly people these days, it makes me want to scream. Yeah, it is so disrespectful.
Grab them and whoop them yourself.
Yeah,
it does. And then, you know, you have the kids who will say, "Well, Mom, I'm the child, and you know, you're supposed to do this for me. You know, you're supposed to give me money, or you're supposed to buy me the new Jordans." You know, and had we talked to our parents like that, I'd have met Jesus a long time ago.
I wouldn't be here right now.
You know, it's
be missing.
The things that I see other kids. My husband and I, we were in Los Angeles earlier this year. I think around between February and April. We were doing an event out of town. I was in the restroom changing clothes to get ready to go and do some interviews. There's this girl and her mother who comes in the bathroom. The girl was about maybe early 20s, and her mother was maybe between 40 something and 50. So apparently something had happened with the boyfriend and the girl, and she goes, "Mom, I told you not to say one word to him. Next time you talk to him like that, I want to blah 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 blah." And she's talking to her mom like this, and her mom goes, "Well, I'm just trying to help you. I'm like, oh my!" I came out of that stall and I gave her the dirtiest look. I mean,
want to say more than that.
My looks could have wiped her clothes off and sent her down the river.
Yeah,
I mean, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Don't you ever say anything. That's my boyfriend, Mom. I'll handle it. Don't you ever." And she's like, "Okay."
No. I think what's happening is, you know, from the time when we were raised, because you and I are like closer in age, our parents might not possibly, or even your parents, they didn't really give us that opportunity to share our feelings back then, you know, like really hear what we have to say. So now we're on the other side of the spectrum. We're allowing our children to speak, hear what they have to say, and things, and that's cool. That's fine and dandy. I think, you know, yes, I want to hear what you have to say. What's on your heart? I want you to express yourself. But it's like no happy medium. It's like the children, I think they believe, they kind of get it kind of foggy that just because my mother or father listens to me and allow me to speak my mind, it's like we're friends now and I can just tell you what I want to and treat you how I want you. They're getting the lines of friendship and parent, yet they're very blurred. I even had to remind my son of that the other day because you know, he's a very respectable child. I'm very blessed because the way I was raised is the way I taught him. Not every way I was raised was right. I tweaked it a little bit. However, he said something about suppose something that's what I said. First of all, no, don't get that wrong.